Hey, what's up? Hello, everyone. Welcome into Fantasy Filmball, the show where we turn movies into sports and sports into something we don't talk about here. My name is Matt.
My name's Dyl, and it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we are back with our box office high-low game for the month of April. We have like 5-6 releases to go over today, and you know, the box office this year has done well, it's done not so well, but March looked pretty good overall, so I'm really excited to see if April can, keep the legs up, because we always like to see good box office numbers. But if you are new here, consider dropping a like. If you enjoy what you see today, comment down below with some of your bold box office predictions, as well as dropping a subscription if you want to see more box office and just general movie and awards news. But the first movie we're going to talk about is coming out on April 5th. It's got Dev Patel starring, directing, and it's called Monkey Man. Matt, how excited are you for this one?
I'm really excited for Monkey Man, but I am a massive idiot when it comes to box office. I know nothing. I just go on vibes. I am not the one to ask about any of this stuff. But we're here and we're playing this game because it's so much fun. I'm excited for Monkey Man, and it's currently tracking for what, Dylan? Like 16 to 25?
Yeah, that's what the official tracking is currently, so that makes our line at 21 million. And you mentioned vibes, and I kind of feel like that's what we got to go off of here with Monkey Man. Yeah. I don't think that's a really great comparable, because like going back to the first John Wick could be somewhere to look at, but that was so long ago, and Keanu Reeves was such a bigger name than Dev Patel is in terms of a box office sense of things. It's like I don't think that would be a fair comparable to make here, but out of South by Southwest, the reviews are great out of this. The positive word of mouth is strong, so using your word of vibes, I think that this one will go over.
I think it'll go over too. The comparisons to John Wick are already out there. People are already talking about it. You see the trailer, you think, oh, it's John Wick set in India, and you go, yeah, that's happening. I gotta see that. And to be honest, I think something that's going to bolster this even more is that not only is this a Hollywood film that American audiences are going to go to, I think this is going to do very well overseas as well as in America with the audience from South Asia. I think a lot of people from South Asia are going to go out and see this movie. So I do think it's going to go over. I could see this being a major, major crossover hit. So I got to go over too.
For the record, the first John Wick movie opened to 14.4 million all the way back in 2004. Like I said, though, completely different landscape. So like 14.4 today could easily be over this $21 million line. Our next film that we're going to be talking about also comes out on April 5th, and that is the first Omen, the legacy sequel spinoff of the original Omen. And I mean, like, the tracking for this is $8 to $13 million. That makes our line 11 million. But the horror legacy sequels haven't really been doing great as of recent. Most of all of them have come in under expectations, with the exception of Evil Dead Rise. So like, I got really burned with Boogeyman last year, feeling like, oh, that had such great buzz, it's going to go over the line, and it went really far under. So I'm expecting the same thing here. So I'm going under.
How much did Boogeyman make in its opening? 12.3.
And I think our line was like 16, 17 for that.
Yeah, then I'm also going to go under, because if 12.3 is where that hit, then I'd expect kind of around the same. So I'm going to go slightly under. I don't think it's going to perform under the 8 million mark, but I don't know. I haven't heard much about this. My vibes are non-existent on it, so I don't know.
However, on April 12th, we have a big hitter. Could be the biggest opening for the entire month of April, depending on how you want to look at stuff, is Civil War. And this is another one out of South by Southwest that has great raves. Some people are calling it a masterpiece. But A24's best opening of all time is $13.6 million with Hereditary. However, Civil War currently is tracking between $15 and $24 million. So we have a line of 20, and I think this one is easily going over. I could see this hit 30, 35. I could see this going way over the expectations.
I don't know, man. My vibes are saying under 20.
Ooh.
Reason being that I feel like it's such a polarizing subject matter that people might be buying tickets in advance quite a bit. I don't know how many walk-ups there's going to be. I could also see there be like a bit of a Joker situation before, where people start getting scared off of it, feeling like there might be threats of violence if you go and see this movie. Something about this just doesn't feel right to me. I can see it being a critical hit, but and I can see it being one of A24's biggest movies ever, if not the biggest movie that they've ever had. But I am not sure that's going to translate into a massive opening weekend. But like I said before, I'm an idiot when it comes to this stuff. But my gut is saying no.
That's the first movie that we differ on for the month of April. And who knows, maybe Civil War is exactly what you said. People are a little scared by it. They don't want to go out opening weekend. But I still think even if it misses this 20 million opening weekend, I think the legs for this one will be good. For like what you're talking about, the curiosity factor, where maybe they're told it's scary, it's spooky, it's, not scary and spooky in the sense of horror, but in the sense of subject matter.
The thing that I worry about is like if there's some sort of warning of like there could be violence there. Alternately, here's the other thing. Some people might go and see Civil War thinking it's about the first Civil War and not really thinking it's about the modern day. And so you might get like a bunch of dads walking up. So it's possible that this really does come in over, especially if you factor in the crowd that has no idea what this is. But to me, I just think film that's so politically polarized, it's a bit of a hard sell. I'm struggling to see it be as big as people are expecting.
Well, we talk about being a hard sell, and our next film also comes on the same day. It's from Guy Ritchie, who's had quite the interesting string of films post-COVID, or I guess we should say 2020 till now, because he had The Gentleman, which came out right before the pandemic started, made about $10.6 million in its opening weekend. Then fresh out of the pandemic in 2021, he had Wrath of Man, made about 8.3. And then last year, he had two giant stinkers in terms of their domestic gross. Operation Fortune made about 3.1, and then The Covenant made about 6.3. And he has a new movie coming out this year called The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Welfare, which has tracking between $6 and $10 million. That's going to make our line at $8 million. And if you look at our four films here, 2 went over, 2 went under, but the 2 that went over, at least to me, one was pre-COVID, and the other one barely scraped past that $8 million. And at least to me, I felt like Wrath of Man had more buzz. It's Jason Statham. He's shown that he gets those walk-ups. We just saw The Beekeeper do really well. So, like, I don't know. I mean, this film has some stars you can make the case for, but they're also not stars who have great box office track records. So I'm going to go slightly under.
I've never heard of this movie before.
Well, that's probably a good sign for you to go under, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what this is. I'm going under. I like Guy Ritchie, too. I haven't seen 3 out of 4 of his last movies, but I like Guy Ritchie. I have no idea what this is. So, yeah, that's a strong gut sign to go, yeah, no one's going to see this. But I could be wrong. I could be an idiot who just has not been following the latest Guy Ritchie.
Well, maybe you've been following our film that comes out on April 19th because it is Abigail, the horror comedy film, tracking for $12 to $22 million, line at 17. How do you feel about this one?
I also know nothing about this one, so I'm
wow.
going under. I haven't heard a single thing. I haven't seen a single trailer. I don't know anything about it. It's not giving me Megan vibes because, like, I feel like I saw memes. I feel like I saw people talking about Megan. I have no idea what Abigail is, other than it just sounds like it's trying to copy that. I'm not buying that this is going to make 17 million is the mark, I think you said. So yeah, not for me. Under.
Under he goes. Well, it's by the directors of the last Scream movie as well as Ready or Not. So, like, they've had some proven track record with some good received films. I mean, Ready or Not only opened to about $8 million, but had some pretty good legs and word of mouth after that. As you mentioned, Megan could be another comparable. That opened to $30.4 million, so very much over our line. And then Evil Dead Rise, which came on the same weekend last year, made about $24.5 million.
But that's
However,
IP.
That is IP, and you talk about not really hearing about this film. The social metrics currently for Abigail are very similar to Renfield, which opened to about $8 million last year. So, like, part of me wants to go over because I feel like once this movie comes out, there'll be great word of mouth for it. But just because no one's really talking about it right now, I think I'm going to go slightly under. It'll be one of those where, like, the weekend comes and, like, oh, it could do right around 20 million, maybe right around 15 million, and it like overperforms each day, but the opening day is a little bit lower than Saturday and Sunday keep growing throughout the weekend. But I am going to have it coming slightly under for Abigail.
Okay. So we're both going under. That's not bad. And then last weekend of April, we got Challengers, one of
do.
your most anticipated movies for sure. I know that because we got a Zendaya stan here.
We do have a Zendaya stand and we have a Luca stand too, and they're both here with Challengers. And Challengers is the one film coming out in April that does not have official tracking out quite yet. We were recording this on March 28th, and who knows, by the time this video is posted, there could be official tracking out. So this one, we're going to kind of have to make up our number that we want to track with. And someone in our Discord server, shout out to Jussie, said that this seems very similar to Don't Worry, Darling. You have a big name star in the film. It's another one of those like romance type thrillers, even though this one doesn't seem as much as a thriller, but still like love triangle sort of thing. And I don't know, that one opened at 19.3, and that seemed a little high for Challengers, at least based off of the buzz currently. I know that the world premiere just happened the other day in Australia, so maybe the buzz picks up a little bit since then. But another comparable you can make on the complete opposite side was Anyone But You. That only opened at 6 million though, but that was during the Christmas holiday, and there was a giant snowstorm, so there's a lot of factors going into that one, but that one had a tremendous legs, getting up to like nearly $90 million domestically. So like, I don't really know where to put this line here. Matt, where are you feeling right now?
See, I don't care where the line is. No matter where it is, I'm going over. Reason being is that the social media buzz around this seems to be crazy. I mean, you look at some of the images that they released from this, specifically the one of Zendaya on the bed with both Mike Faced and Josh O'Connor kissing her neck. That got like 500 million impressions on Twitter, something like, I don't know if that's the exact number. It got a ridiculous amount of impressions on Twitter. People know about this movie. They are aware of its existence. People love Zendaya, and people be horny as fuck. So Challengers is going to be a hit. People are going to go and see it because it's the tennis movie with a horny Zendaya. So no matter what the number is, this is on the upper end, and it crosses our middle line.
So let's say our number is 17 million. That's a little lower than Don't Worry, Darling, because that film had Florence Pugh and Harry Styles, while this film just has Zendaya. Let's be a little bit bold here, because I'll agree with you. It goes over 17 million. Since there is no official tracking, let's guess a opening weekend number for this.
20.5.
Matt goes 20.5, and I am going to go a little higher. I'm going to go 22.
Ooh, nice. Yeah,
I just feel like
that's the vibe for me.
Yeah, I just feel like everything you said with the social media reaction to the trailer. I know the trailer came out so long ago at this point. It was back in like July. They'll do like a blitz campaign that the last 2 weeks before, high promo. You won't be able to go anywhere without seeing this film. And I think especially the younger demographic will show out for this. The demographic that showed up for Don't Worry, Darling, which was still during the COVID time. So I feel like it can increase off that a little bit. And, maybe I'm being biased a little bit, but I think this movie will actually be good, unlike that film. So it will have a little bit better reception for people who are like, oh, that film's rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, this film will be positive.
Yeah, I think there's going to be strong word of mouth in advance as well. So that's definitely going to help quite a bit, I think. So, I feel good about Challengers for sure. That said, overall month of April, I mean, I'm excited to see Monkey Man. I'm excited to see Civil War. I'm excited to see Challengers. So I guess, that's solid. That's half of the films we talked about that I'm like actually really looking forward to. Is there anything else you're looking forward to in April?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the same ones you are, and then with Challengers as well. I mean, basically, the thing with April is March had so many blockbusters. We had Dune, we had Kung Fu Panda, we had Godzilla, we had Ghostbusters. We basically had a big blockbuster each weekend. Where April, we don't technically have a blockbuster, like a film that has over $100 million budget. So like it's gonna be a lot of like these middle budget films where like they could blow up or they could kind of be like nothing factor. So like I think it's a very interesting month. But if you look at non-big releases, I mean the Shrek 2 re-release comes out. Hopefully that does well. So Universal, gets on Shrek 5 because that's what the people want. The people want Shrek 5.
We've also already both seen Sasquatch Sunset, which we're going to talk about in our What We've Been Watching episode. That's also coming out this month.
Well, that's going to bring us to the conclusion of this April high-low game, the self-promo ramble here. If you like what you saw, consider a like, a subscription. We got so much stuff coming out over the course of the next month because we are into the 2025 Oscar season. So much fun stuff. But until next time, my name's Dyl.
And my name is Matt, and this has been Fantasy Filmball.